1 goes Dutch with Kutski. BBC Radio 1 goes Dutch with Kutski and special guests.
Give it to me, Kutski.
Double Dutch. BBC Radio 1.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting
to the show, and many thanks to Judge Jules and Armin van Buren for the last 2 hours. But for the next 2 hours, we're going to take things harder. You're in tune to Kutski, and I'm joined with a very good friend of mine, all the way from Holland, Mr. Wildstylez. How's it going, man?
I'm fine, man. Thank you for having me over here.
All good, mate, all good. Wildstylez is going to be in the mix later on.
Veel plezier met de show.
Enjoy the show. It's Kutski Radio 1. Turn it up.
Every Friday night on Radio 1.
Double Dutch. BBC Radio 1.
At hand, creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
So I couldn't resist being as close as to Halloween as we're going to get for the show. I had to play this one. I look forward to Halloween every year just as an excuse to play. You know, everyone says, oh, it's cheesy. Still does the damage on the dance floor this time of year. Of course, Thriller, and that was DJ Isaac's bootleg. And DJ Isaac being a legend, not just in the Dutch hardstyle scene, but in the hardcore back in the 90s as well. Big up Isaac, big player.
BBC Radio 1 goes Dutch.
So, as I mentioned at the top of the show, big one lined up for you tonight over the next 2 hours. The Dutch special. We go double Dutch, as we've got Wildstylez joining us in the studio, and he's brought us a killer mix that's going to be coming up in about 30 minutes' time. In the second hour, the Viper, big hardcore DJ from Holland, is going to be providing the Halloween horror mix. So basically it's all going to be about Dutch hardstyle and hardcore. We've got Snap, Crackle, Drop, or as we're going to call it this week, Snap, Cackle. See what I did there? Halloween. Where we're going to go old school vinyl on one of my first ever records I got on import from Holland back when I was just a wee boy. And of course, perfect territory for the hardest record in the world from Enzyme Records, plus plenty more. Warming things up now, Anthem from the Trance superstar that is Mr. Tiesto. This one's Lethal Industry.
Keeping the rave alive.
Kutski. K-U-T-S-K-I. Kutski. Radio 1. Wind up your waist. Alright. Why?
big tune still does the damage on the dance floors, this one. The sounds of DJ Tiesto, Lethal Industry. Originally released back in 2002, this one. This is a slightly tougher remix. To fit the vibe of tonight, it's all about the hard and fast heavy beats. As we go into Dutch special, Kutski Radio 1.
BBC Radio 1 goes Dutch.
These beats keep running through my mind, I'll try to keep you satisfied. The music gets me hypnotized. Don't analyze, try to realize.
Okay, it's time for me to get in the mix now. I'm going to be running down some of the big Dutch tunes that were big for me, playing out on the dance floors over in the UK. Some of the tunes that really transferred well. And first up in the mix, one of my favourite hard dance tunes of all time. This changed the game in a big way when it was released back in 2006. Still, people refer to this as the Walt bass line. It influenced many artists in the UK, especially in the southwest as well, with a hard trance sound. Of course, Walt being one half of Showtek, massive successful Dutch artist. This one's entitled Let the Music Play.
BBC Radio 1 goes Dutch. Oi, oi, you're in tune to DJ Kutski on Radio 1.
Kutski Radio 1 Dutch special tonight. And this track in the background was a big Dutch track for me on the dance floors. And I liked it so much I never actually learned how to pronounce the name of it properly. But luckily for me, I've got the one and only Wildstylez joining me in the studio. He's going to... Right, let me have a go. Jazeker? No?
No, it's more like Jazeker.
Jazeker.
Jazeker, yeah.
Jazeker. I'm going to...
which means something like for sure.
For sure, yeah. Because I remember on the vinyl it had an exclamation mark next to it, so I thought it must be something emphatic with a pow. So that's Wildstylez who's joining me in the studio, and he's going to be in the mix very shortly as well.
Jazeker.
Jazeker. Representing the finest hardstyle beats coming out of Holland at the moment. You're listening to Radio 1.
BBC Radio 1 goes Dutch.
Finishing up my little mini mix, my selection of tunes that I was really feeling from Holland. 2008, this is Zany and Deviate. Nothing Else Matters. Wildstylez, what are you thinking of this one? Were you feeling this? Were you a big fan of this tune?
Well, at the beginning, I was like a really big Metallica fan, so I had a little problems with it, but in the end, it's done really tasteful, so yeah, I'm fine with it. Yeah. Cool track.
It gets the Wildstylez seal of approval. So as I'm sure you've heard this evening, it's all about the Dutch tonight on Radio 1. And we recently sent Heidi out to give you a little guide of the Netherlands. So here's Heidi to tell you a little bit more.
Heidi in Holland at ADE on BBC Radio 1.
Hi, this is Heidi van den Amstel, otherwise known as Heidi to all you people on Radio 1. I come from Canada, but my father was born in Amsterdam, and I withhold a Dutch passport, which allows me to work and live in the country and supply you people with great music. I'm sitting out in front of the letters that spell out the word Amsterdam. Very, very, popular with the tourists. They like to get their picture taken, some of them with the letter that their first name starts with. And we're also sitting in front of the Van Gogh Museum, which I've never been inside, but it looks really nice from the outside. But I would highly recommend it if you fancy going to it. I came here actually for the first time like 10 years ago, and I came with my boyfriend at the time because he thought I had to come and relive my roots because I've never been here before, and my dad was born here and my Oma and Opa were born here. And at first glance, it's the most beautiful, quaint city. It's like super old looking, and every building is completely different from the next. I don't know if you know that, but no two buildings are like. And they're extremely steep and narrow. It's like walking up a ladder if you're trying to get up the stairs. Because my apartment right now that I'm staying in is pretty intense, to say the least. And if you've had a few drinks, going up is no problem. It's coming back down is the other problem, because the steps are about like an inch wide. So be careful, all you people who visit the coffee shops and the little bars. And the food is really nice too, I have to say, because it's influenced by the Indonesians, because they kind of came here back in the 1800s. It's kind of weird if you think about it, because it's like Dutch food, you don't think it's Indonesian, but it is. Special dish, nasi goreng, for all you people, which is a rice dish with pickles in it and a fried egg on top, which my Oma used to make for me all the time when I was little. And meatball soup, that's also another thing. And ginger cookies. Oh, ginger cookies. So, other things you might know about Amsterdam, just from reading things, is that it is filled with little canals, which is very disorientating if you come out of a bar at night and you're trying to find your way home, because everything looks the same, kind of. The streets, it's really hard to navigate the city. I always find myself at the same corner all the time. But you can hop on a boat and do the boat tours, which is really, really, really fun. You can have a beer. And they do beer bike tours here too, which you can sit around a table and get ridden through the streets, which we were going to do, but we didn't have time to do. So another little tidbit of information about Holland is that tulips are their sort of #1 export. And in the springtime, this whole entire country is filled with tulips and flowers everywhere, and it's so beautiful. That's another thing you have to be careful about, folks. The bicycles, they take no prisoners, and they will run you down. And also, all the American tourists come over here and they think, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to ride a bike around the city. And then they break their leg and get caught in a tram track. So be careful. Just take taxis or walk everywhere. Riding bicycles is only for the people who live in the city.
BBC Radio 1 goes Dutch with Heidi.
Many thanks to Heidi for that insight into the beautiful city of Amsterdam. And speaking of Amsterdam, this track in the background from way back in 2002, it was one of the first releases that I ever heard from one of the biggest hardcore acts in the world at the moment, who made his entry into the top 100 DJs last week, so I've got to big him up for that. And this is still one of my favourite hardcore tunes on a much slower, more modest tempo. This is Anger Fist with Criminally Insane.
You're in tune to DJ Kutski on
hardcore.
Okay, so next up, we have a feature that we call Snap, Crackle, Drop, where every week, basically what I do is I bring in a vinyl, I'll go digging through the record collection.
A what?
Yeah, a vinyl. A vinyl. Does anybody in the studio know what one of those is? I mean, when was the last time, I've got Wildstylez in the studio with me, when was the last time you bought a vinyl? Because I honestly, it must have been 3-4 years ago I last bought one.
I don't even know what it is. No, no. So I think it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah. So how times change. I mean, it's always great because we have the nostalgia where we say how great it was playing vinyl, but every now and again it's like I dig the turntables out, I set them up, and then after I've been playing them for kind of like half an hour, I forget that the needles used to jump, the tempo went everywhere, it's harder to mix on. I kind of go, oh yeah, I'll stick with the CD players there. So yeah, it's always great to look back and nostalgic though, and each week I play a tune, and this week we're playing one of John Peel's classics that he used to love back in the day. And of course, John Peel being a massive supporter of the hardcore, who passed away just over 7 years ago, earlier this week. True legend and a big supporter of the scene. I'm sure I wouldn't be here on Radio 1 if it wasn't for his support of the music. So we have to play the record on the wrong speed to start in true John Peel style, because he used to get these crazy hardcore and gabba records and he used to put them on, and bless him, he didn't know whether it was supposed to be on 33 or 45.
Come on. Dance with
So in his honour, this is Highlander, and this is Hold Me Now.
Come on.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Dance with me. Dance with me, come on, dance with me, move your body around. Come on, dance with me, move your body around. Come on, dance with me, move your body around. Come on, dance with me, move your body around. Come on, dance with me, move your body around. Come on, dance with me, move your body around. Come on, dance with me, move your body around. Come on, dance with me, come on, dance with me.
In the memory of the late, great John Peel. This is Highlander, Hold Me Now. Big Dutch happy hardcore tune. So Wildstylez, were you ever into happy hardcore back in the day when you were younger?
Yeah, I loved a lot of the tunes from Paul Elstak and of course Charlie Low Noise and Metal Tio. So
yeah, them guys. I mean, it's like I always say, my favourite record label of all time still has to be Pengo Records.
Okay, yeah. I don't know any record labels. Then only the artist.
All good. That's what it's about. To be honest, a lot of it I don't even remember the label. I just remember the sleeves because Dutch records always have such amazing artwork on the sleeves.
Yeah, I saw a few of that too, but.
You're going to get in the mix for us very shortly, and you're one of the main artists out in the hardstyle scene out in Holland. So anybody that hasn't heard hardstyle before, can you describe what the music's like a little bit?
Yeah, the music is like 150 BPM. And the beats are really hard. A lot of melodic stuff and a lot of energy in it.
Because the shows out there, for anybody that hasn't seen them, are these big crazy shows where you get like 40,000 people and crazy lights and laser shows. And it's really, really big stuff. So what sort of music are you going to be playing in the mix? Can you give us a teaser as a few tracks that you're going to be dropping for us?
Yeah, the first track will be Lose My Mind. It's my new track together with Brennan Hart, also from Holland. It's already a big hit on YouTube. And for the rest, I will play tracks from all my favorite producers. So there will be the new Headhunters, Doomed, Noisecontrollers, Universe Was Born, and Put It On.
Excellent.
Also from Guns for Hire.
Well, yeah, because the Guns for Hire stuff, we've been playing a lot of their stuff on the show and it's getting a big reaction.
Yeah, they are really doing great. I saw them last Saturday on the show and it looks really
Was
fantastic.
that the A2 party? Because you were there as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
Excellent
they
stuff.
They smashed it.
Yeah. Big up, right. So enough of the happy hardcore action. Let's take things bang up to date. This is Wildstylez in the mix on Radio 1.
Going Dutch on BBC Radio 1.
Down and out with my dumb friends, ready to misbehave. Forget about Monday to Friday, 'cause I've been working like a slave. Creeping towards the weekend, and the unable to shine, bringing me down to the deep end. Back off, and let me lose my mind. Back off. Back off, and let me lose my mind. Back off. misbehave. Forget about Monday to Friday, 'cause I've been working like a slave. Creeping towards the weekend, envy I'm able to shine, bringing me down to the deep end. Back off, and let me lose my mind.
The fact I'm running late, 'cause time I underrate. But then I come, shake your house like an earthquake.
forever.
Kutski, BBC Radio 1 on a Friday night. As you know, it's all about the dance music every Friday night. Something special this week. It's all about the Dutch dance music. And I'm joined in the studio and in the mix in the background by Wildstylez. And he's got some shouts over there, mate. Has people been getting in touch with the show?
Yes, man. I have a shout out from Curtis John Rambo White. Love his name.
What a name, man.
Get on, Kutski. Dutch hardstyle is the way forward. Also one from Maurits Wilhelm Haak. Hup, Holland, hup, like they would say in Dutch. Harder, Kutski, harder.
Hey, and I've got a shout from Connor as well, from the Belfast Hardstyle faithful, saying they love the Dutch hardstyle vibes. Shout to Michael in Northern Ireland, and Oz from Denver, Colorado. Big up all the international listeners out in the USA, because of course Hardstyle is making massive progress in America at the moment. And also big shout to DJ MKN, who said he wants to know about future digital age releases. And obviously Wildstylez, you and Noisecontrollers run that label together, so you can give us a little bit more information.
Yeah, I can't say anything about the Noisecontrollers at the moment, but at the moment we are listening to the next release on Digital Age.
Excellent stuff. And when's that due to drop?
In a few weeks. The track is called Lonely, by the way.
And if you want to check it out, if you want to know all the tracks that are in the mix, there'll be a full track listing online, bbc.co.uk/Radio 1.
Double Dutch, BBC Radio 1.
the voice of desire that haunts our dreams, a throw of the heart. Voice of desire. Profound. No dying cadence or long sigh can sound the voice of desire. The voice of desire. Voice of desire.
$14 billion years ago, there was nothing. The universe was born. $14 billion years ago, there was nothing. No stars, no galaxies, no planets or people. Then suddenly, without warning, everything exploded into existence. The universe was born. Then suddenly, without warning, everything exploded into existence. The universe was born. The universe was born. Was born.
BBC Radio 1.
Yo, this is Wildstylez and you're listening to my guest mix on BBC Radio 1.
I need your love like the flowers need the sun. To grow and reach the sky, let us try to be as one. I need to feel your love, I need you deep inside. Put me on your rocket ship and take me out of sight. I see stars.
white beam of light smashes a disco ball into 1,000 pretty pieces. Tonight, sweat. Bouncing souls packed into the moment. The heavy sky splits open. Time floats frozen. Tonight, the stars ignite like fireflies. Tonight is burning a hole in the sky. Tonight is beaming. Tonight,
Dutch special. Right now in the mix, the one, the only, the Wildstylez. And Wildstylez, have you got some more shouts there?
Yeah, I've got here one from Nicola in Belfast, and he's listening every week to the show. Also one from Brian Pitcher, a shout out to all Scottish ravers.
Big up all the Scottish crew.
I also got one from Johnny Humphreys. He wants a shout out for his 21st birthday, and also a big get well because he had his appendix removed.
Oh, that's no way to spend your 21st birthday, man. But we're bigging you up, man. That's what it's about. Dedicating this one out. What's this last tune in the mix, Wildstylez?
It's Put It On.
Big tune. Some massive respect for that awesome half an hour of the finest Dutch hardstyle you're going to hear anywhere. And of course, Wildstylez headlines some of the biggest parties out in Holland. by a company called Q-Dance, and if you haven't seen the things, it's worth having a look online and just try and see the scale of the parties these guys run. It's like looks like something from a Star Wars film or something. It's that crazy with lights and lasers and fireworks. And when I was out in Holland last week at HD, the Hard Dance event, I caught up with Roger from Q-Dance to tell us a little bit about what the party scene out there is like, and this is what he had to say.
Go in touch with Kutski on BBC Radio 1.
So we're here, we've snuck upstairs in the Q-Dance offices at HDE this year, the big conference where we all gather once a year, all the guys in the hard scene, and I'm here with one of the main important people at the moment, Roger from Q-Dance, who runs one of the most sickest event companies you can possibly imagine. And I just want to kind of really get across how different the events are. So can you tell us a little bit about what your events are and how you run them, and you kind of describe what it's like for anybody that's never been to them?
Our events, like basically Q-Dance stands for quality, and that's what we want to show with each event. And for us it's always really important to give the people a whole experience. So instead of saying, okay, wow, check out this massive lineup with these fantastic DJs and that's it, we want to say step into a world you have never seen before. As we can say in Holland, when you take a pill, you know, you can stand in a field and go completely mental and have the best day in the world. Well, on our events you can do it without drugs. You know, it's just like more than just music and dancing with your eyes closed. Also a lot to experience, to watch, to enjoy.
With the events out in Holland, as a general thing, the standard of production is like really quite crazy. I mean, can you describe the difference between, you know, the culture of festivals in Holland versus anywhere else in the world?
Yeah, I think if you want to put on like a massive experience instead of just a massive lineup on a standard pop stage with two LED screens on two sides, you need to invest in production. You need to create worlds. So I think like the Dutch events are really well known for this. When you look at the worlds we want to create, it already starts with the first trailer. You know, when we release an event, we already want to tell a story, explain where, when you buy your ticket, what is it you're going to see, what is it you're going to experience. So it's like a whole experience instead of just buying a ticket to see a DJ, listening to his music and go home.
Q-Dance really specialises in the harder styles, you know, the full range of everything. And I was just wondering, how important do you think the events are to the music? I mean, is it just like it's somewhere where people go to listen to music, or is it an integral part of the scene where the music wouldn't exist as it is without these events?
Basically, hardstyle in the beginning was club music. The producers knew that, okay, if I produce this track is going to be played on this stage, and Q-Dance is going to put on like 20 lasers. So actually, basically, the music evolved to being like a really, what we call show-driven music. When you close your eyes, you already can see a massive stage, you know, like a huge dragon with fire out of his nostrils and like 20 lasers going off at the same time. And when you visualize this and you listen to hardstyle, that is what hardstyle is supposed to be. And kind of sound that really fits like a Qlimax event with 27,000 people all in the same room experiencing the same thing at the same time.
So that was one of the things that I wanted to ask you about. You've got an event coming up soon, Qlimax, and it's one of your flagship events. And I've seen what goes on there, and it's really like no other clubbing experience that I've ever seen. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about what the concept is behind this event?
Yeah, so the first edition of Qlimax was like really different from this one, but in the end Qlimax evolved to be a hardstyle event, which we also call show driven. So where like DEFCON is really about the whole adventure, several areas, walking around, enjoying the sunshine like a festival vibe. Qlimax is about a massive show, so really theatrical, really storytelling, huge stage designs, massive shows, a lot of synchronized effects with lasers and lightning, and really like it's basically watching a movie. So it's like you could also go to Qlimax, take a chair, sit down and just watch the whole entourage.
Every year with Qlimax, you have a special anthem that's written especially for the event. Is there any chance we can get a sneaky listen of that?
Yeah, man, no worries. This year's anthem is done by an Italian DJ called Zatox, and I think it's pretty awesome, man. It's like for Qlimax anthem, it's a bit on the raw side, but I think especially for the Dutchies, that's the sound they want to hear nowadays.
BBC Radio 1 goes Dutch.
Stop the last bit of resistance. There is no way back. Surrender is the only option. Your experience is the main event. You are now plugged in to the Experiment Dome.
BBC Radio 1.
And the angel said, if any man worship the beast, he shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, and he shall be tormented with fire in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest nor day nor night, they who worship the beast.
So before this one, you just heard the Qlimax anthem of 2011 exclusive play, Zartox, No Way Back. And in the background now with the brutal beats, this is the latest offering on Fusion by a big producer in the hardstyle scene, one of the pioneers of the music, Zany with Worship. And coming up shortly, we've got the hardest record in the world right now. It's all about the hard Dutch beats tonight, Radio 1. turn it up.
Kutski on Radio 1.
Said, if any man worship the beast, he shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, and he shall be tormented with fire in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest nor day nor night, they who worship the beast.
Dark and heavy hitting, the Halloween vibe. Zany with Worship, which is on Fusion Records. And of course the record labels, I mean, we wouldn't have this music if it wasn't for the record labels. Very big part of the music industry. Although sometimes, on the forefront of the scene, you might not necessarily see it if you're just going out clubbing and listening to it, but these are the guys that are looking for the great new artists, the new DJs and the freshest, heaviest new tunes. So I caught up with a couple of the biggest labels in the hardstyle and hardcore scene when I was at HDE last week. And let's catch up with the guys now and see what they have to say.
BBC Radio 1 goes Dutch with Kutski.
Okay, so we're here now at the hard faction of the ADE that's known as the HDE. And I'm here with the guys from Fusion Records, Zany and Johan. And obviously, one of the important things in music is record labels that brings us the music. So I just wanted to kind of, catch up with these guys because this is one of the most pioneering labels in hardstyle. And, some people out there, they're not even going to know what hardstyle music is. It might be a fresh sound. Obviously, it's a big Dutch scene out here. So I wanted to know, can you just kind of describe the music for us a little bit?
Well, I see hardstyle music as more like a big euphoric sound with some heavy bass drums in there, which they go off, man. This is music for party people.
And obviously the sound's evolved a lot, and you were there from the beginning of it. How has it been to see the scene grow, from literally just this small concept that guys like you pioneered and created to, the super scene it is now with, 50,000 people at the raves?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing to see when you build up a thing like this. You create it with bodies as well, but also with the music. In the beginning we just made music, very underground, just like the way we like it. During the years you try to make a sound where you can take more people with, more different crowd as well. So you have to bring in the melodies, stuff like that, to make it more not commercial, but for a lot of people. So the party is getting bigger, bigger amount of crowd. So it's a complete package.
Go in Dutch with Kutski on BBC Radio 1.
So another Dutch label that's massive in a more rougher area is Enzyme Records, and I'm here now with the guys, and they're going to tell us a little bit about what they do, the music that they release. So what is Enzyme Records all about? What type of music is it?
Well, Enzyme is hardcore music. In the UK you call it Dutch hardcore. Our label is pretty diverse. We have 3 sub-labels. We have K7, we have which is a little bit industrial. We have Enzyme X, which is really experimental hardcore. And we have Enzyme, which also covers the mainstream, as they call it over here. It's more melodic, more uplifting. And so we have like one label, one brand for all types of hardcore out there in Holland. Well, you call it different in the UK, right? You call it Gabba, right?
Gabba.
Yeah.
So what inspired you guys to start a record label in the first place?
DJ Roughneck started Anthem Records. Yeah, when you have your own label, you have the freedom to do what you want to do on the label. Fortunately, Roughneck is on the same level as we are in thinking about music. So we have totally the freedom to do what we want and just release music, very diverse from experimental to mainstream hardcore, and that's what we like about having this label.
Yeah, there's also we don't run the label financially, but we are with Roughneck and Nosferatu and Endymion. We are all checking all the demos, giving our opinion about new stuff from other artists. Sometimes Roughneck doesn't even like a track, but we love it and then we release it, and the other way around the same. So it's like that's what keeps the label so interesting, I think, for other people, because it's not one guy, one taste who puts out all the music. It's like we're a real team, and that really works.
So obviously things have changed a lot over the last 10 years in the music industry. How is it now running a record label than it was in the vinyl days?
It's pretty different because you don't sell a lot of vinyls anymore. We still release vinyl, but we used to sell like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 copies, and now you should cut a zero from that, and then you're lucky if you sell 500 to 1,000. So that's like not really a benefit from the digital age, but our music gets spread out a lot more now. So when you release a track, it's available for the whole world. You don't make a lot of money, but in the end, in the other way around, you reach more people, so you get gigs in different places. So
obviously one of the big things of running a record label is spotting new talent. I mean, have you guys got anybody that you can kind of give us a tip off that we need to be looking out for in the near future?
There's one new guy, Pandorum. He's making absolutely new stuff. It's amazing, really good.
It's fresh, what he's doing. We're doing our own thing, and but what he's doing, he's approaching the music from a different side, and it's kind of like an eye-opener for us. So it's really difficult to spot talent in these times because a lot of demos are not that good. But this guy was like, his ideas are so nice that we thought we should give him a deal, and he's gonna be introduced on Enzyme 40. That's the upcoming release. And he's got some big gigs coming up, so people will hear more from him.
So you guys are obviously no stranger to the Hardest Record feature. We've featured you on the show many times. Have you got anything exclusive that you can hook us up with tonight?
Yeah, we do. The idea was we're going to do a big show at Core 3.0 in Amsterdam this November, and we want to do a visual show. So we're going to do a show with the whole show will be in sync with video, and we always had the idea to cover or bootleg the song by Bjork, Declare Independence, and we messed it up with Chaos. So on this party in the Heineken Music Hall, you will see the video of Bjork with our music. And yeah, as an exclusive for BBC One, we gave the track to you. So we called it Endymion versus Bjork, Declare Chaos and Independence. So here it is. Een exclusieve track voor jullie in de UK. De hardste track in de wereld op dit moment. Endymion versus Bjork, Declare Chaos and Independence. Doei.
Yes, you just heard from Endymion there, representing Enzyme Records. And this is their track versus Bjork, Declare Chaos and Independence.
The hardest record in the world right now.
Future.
Amazing stuff there, brutally hard and original. The sounds of Endymion versus Bjork. And with it being the Dutch special tonight, you know, for hardest records and hardcore being so dominant in Holland, I had to come up with something special. And courtesy of the Enzyme Record boys, declare chaos and independence. Exclusive play, first hearing of this one. Just big up to the guys hooking us up with that. And next up, the hard beats certainly don't stop here, as it's as close as we're going to get to Halloween for our show this week. We always have the Halloween horror mix. And this week I've got one of the true legends of the hardcore scene out in Holland. He's been a massive player since the 90s, released on the likes of Baby Boom. He's recently signed to Neophyte Records and released a new album. So we figured it was the perfect person to get in the mix. This is the sounds of the Viper on Radio 1.
Going Dutch, BBC Radio 1. Kutski.
Hard and fast.
On a Friday night on Radio 1.
We all experience change in our lives. A constant factor in our existence. When change occurs, we can either despair the changes that lie ahead or embrace the possibilities they present. Music needs change in order to survive.
Come on, now crank this for them or out.
faith unfolds in minor chords. We have traveled this road on our own, sanctified in the sound. All we've known, this music's who we are, and no matter near or far, we have been here from the start. It's who we
Going Dutch with Piper on BBC Radio 1.
Yes, Kutski Radio 1, and we're in the thick of our Friday night into Saturday morning, representing the best Dutch dance music you're going to hear anywhere. I mean, just tonight on Radio 1, we've got 5 of the top 20 DJs in the top 100 DJs poll. Chucky, Afrojack, Armin van Buuren, Ferry Corsten, Sander van Doorn, Laidback Luke, all came in the top 20. And it's definitely worth mentioning as well, proud of the music we represent on this show, in the top 100 DJs in the world, in what has always been predominantly a house and trance poll. 10 Hardstyle DJs ranging from hardstyle to hardcore, and many of them being Dutch, including Wildstylez, who joined us earlier in the show. And right now we get back into the mix. Sounds of hardcore's finest. This is the Viper in the mix on Radio 1.
Double Dutch, BBC Radio 1.
into the
BBC Radio 1 goes Dutch with Viper.
Winding up our 2-hour special, representing the finest hard Dutch dance music. This is the Viper in the mix. And also big respect to Wildstylez, who joined us earlier in the show with another amazing 30 minutes of the finest hardstyle beats. Up next, it's the Essential Mix. This week, Radio 1 goes Dutch, and it's the Essential Mix special from the Amsterdam dance event with Ferry Corsten, Sander van Doorn, Afrojack, Rehab, and Sydney Sampson. If you missed any of the show, you need to be checking it out online, bbc.co.uk/Radio1. All the stuff that I just mentioned before, hardest record in the world from Enzyme Records. We caught up with Roger from Q-Dance, who gave us the exclusive from Qlimax, and also Zany and Johan from Fusion Records. We're back to the usual time slot next week. Next up, the Essential Mix.